My car got a check engine light, so I connected my OBD2 sensor to my car, and it shows P0113 intake air temperature sensor 1 circuit high. That's pretty much caused by the faulty mass airflow sensor. First, you need to remove the air intake. I use T25 torque sockets to remove those 6 torque screws for the air filter cover. Next is to remove the air filter. Disconnect the mass sensor. Disconnect the hose. All you have to do is just squeeze and pull up. I'm using T20 to remove the torque screw that's holding the ECU bracket. Now remove the ECU front connector. On the rear connector, you just use a flathead screwdriver and kind of pry it out just a little bit, and then use your finger to pull it out. And then unplug this connector. As you can see, there's 2 Torx bolts that's holding the air filter housing. I used 1/4 inch 8mm socket and extension to get into that little tight spot right there, because if you use a Torx socket, you won't be able to fit inside that hole right there. Remove this hose. Then you will need a clamp tool to remove the clamp right there that's holding the tube. Once you squeeze the handle, the tool will compress the clamp and lock the tool so it would hold the clamp open. And then you need to disconnect this sensor right here. Now remove the air filter box. Now use T20 to remove those 3 torque screws that's holding the mass sensor on to the housing. Go ahead and pull the mass sensor out. Now the new part doesn't come with the O-ring, so you have to transfer the old O-ring onto the new part. And this is the new part. Go ahead and put the O-ring on. Install the new part, and if you have hard time pushing the part in, you can put a little bit of water onto the O-ring. It'll help you pushing it in a little bit easier. Reinstall the mass sensor assembly and put the screws back on. Reinstall the air filter box. Release the clamp. Reinstall the hose. Reinstall the mass sensor connector and the other connector. Connect the tube back on. Tighten the air filter box assembly. Reinstall the ECU connectors. Reinstall the ECU connector bracket. Reinstall this sensor connector. Reinstall the air filter and the air filter cover, and tighten all 6 screws. Reinstall the air intake. After everything's done, I hooked up my scanner and turned on the ignition and clear the code. After that, turn the ignition off and start up the car. Now as you can see that there's no more check engine light, so the problem is solved for P0113. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.